Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well, and I'm just giving a quick overview of one of the Bibles that will be listed on the eBay page soon, and that is one of the first edition Pitt Minions. It's this one. This is the Cambridge Pitt Minion, the first edition, so it's the chapter and verse layout, not the paragraph layout. Now, when this Bible originally came out, it was chapter and verse layout, and I think the switch to the second edition came somewhere in the early noughties, something like that. So for the last 20 years or so, we've had the second edition Pitt Minion. These are getting increasingly harder to get hold of. This one in particular is quite an old one. And the unique thing about this Pitt Minion, which is why I thought I would jump on and just do a little special video all on its own, if you like, is that this one is bound in Berkshire leather, which is an older sort of leather that Cambridge used. My cameo wide margin, for those of you who've seen that, is bound in Berkshire leather, and I'm a big fan of the Berkshire leather. It's kind of, I think it was kind of replaced by the French Morocco, but I found the Berkshire leather a lot more supple, a lot more flexible, which was nice. Now this is leather lined, it's bonded leather lined, and it is actually edge lined as a result, so it's not your normal vinyl paste down liner. It's actually a strip of bonded leather that they've used to line it, and you can see the tab down the spine of the Bible. So it's a really quite a nice one, this one. And also the red lettering is quite different because this is a hot press produced Bible, so it would be the letterpress type printing presses from plates that would produce this Bible. This one's printed at the at the Cambridge University Press in Great Britain, so it's quite an interesting Bible in that sense. It's not been produced in the Netherlands or anywhere else like that. This was actually printed and bound in the UK at Cambridge. So it's a really, really nice edition. The red lettering also is different to what you'll have seen with the more modern digital fonts, and even the sort of facsimile prints like the large print and things like that. This is a different colour. It's more of a sort of an orangey, lighter red colour, but really quite nice, and it really stands out. So we'll take this down to the desk, and I'll just spend 5 minutes just showing you a few unique things about this Bible, because this will be going on the eBay page shortly, and there may be some questions that people want to ask me. Well, if you watch this video, hopefully it will answer most of the questions about this particular Bible. Okay, let's go. Okay, so let's take a good look at this this Pitt Minion first edition. This is the really old style gold two-part boxes that Cambridge used to do. You'll see it's the red letter edition of the Pitt Minion. They are the original bold figure centre references, which are really very nice and very legible. A very cool reference system. The second edition does employ a bold figure centre column reference system, but it's not quite like this, so it's a really nice one, this one. India paper, so it's that very thin but beautiful paper that they use, which gives this particular edition I think it's even narrower width than the second edition. It's just beautiful. So it's made in Great Britain, and it's Berkshire leather bound as well. So let's take a good look at this particular Bible, because it's one that I really liked myself. You can see straight away that there's a really nice grain on these Berkshire leather Bibles. This is basically a pigskin leather, so very nice indeed. My Cambridge wide margin, I can testify to its durability. Mine has had 20 plus years of pretty hard use, pretty regular use, and not particularly well looked after perhaps, and it's in pretty good shape. This obviously is effectively, it is a second, so I haven't spotted anything actually wrong with it. I mean, obviously it is an older Bible, so there will be some the gilding is less than perfect because it's been sat around for so long. There's no real marks on the cover though, and I didn't find any faults with the pages, so rest assured you'll be getting a really good quality. What I would say is very good condition. Now when we look inside, there is that bonded leather liner, There's the markings for the Berkshire leather, and it says edge lined. So straight away you can see that there is a tab of material that is going down the spine there, and you will see the telltale familiar tab there, which is stuck with the card, so you can see it is actually edge lined in there. Single ribbon, and it's got the red and yellow head and tail bands there, but this is just absolutely beautiful. There's a blank presentation page, of course, and then we have the information page, which tells us that it is printed in Great Britain at the University Press in Cambridge. Now there is a list of pronunciations, the proper names, in the beginning of this Bible, which takes up a fair few pages, but then we get into this fantastic typeface that is so well loved by people who like the Pitt Minion. Now, this is even more readable than the second edition KJV. Number one, because it is chapter and verse layout. I find that easy to read. Most people tend to find that easy to read and to find the verses, shall we say. But number two, because it is a bolder and it's a more separated text, if you like, that's the word I would use to describe it. You can just make out the words easier on this, and this paper, despite being thin, it's beautifully opaque, as you can see. There's no unnecessary noise or show through coming from the other side. It does have the running headers across the top there, and there's an example of that beautiful bold figure center references. Look at that, so readable. You can really get those references. The ones that are aligned to the right hand side of the column are for this column. The ones that are aligned to the left pertain to the left hand column. Very simple system to use, but this font is just absolutely beautiful, really coming through well on this particular Bible. Now, when we move into the poetic sections, they are laid out basically the same as the rest of the Bible. So that is one thing that I will say the second edition gets right. It does have a really nice poetic layout. This is a more conventional, more traditional chapter and verse layout, so you're not going to get differences with that. But we do have introductions to the Psalms, as we can see there. And then when we move over into the New Testament, let's take a look at an example of the red letter. I'm trying not to go too fast through it, but here we go. Now, it is a self-pronouncing text as well, I should say. So when we get to... Oh, no, actually, it's not self-pronouncing, is it? No, they are... No, they're just as they are, so that's quite nice. But yes, let's take a closer look. Let's try and get this Bible down. There we go. Now you can see the whole page. That is the red letter that we're talking about. As you can see, really stand out. It's much bolder than in the second edition, and it's much more... You can differentiate between the black and the red far more easily, if you ask me. Now, I'll tell you what I will do is I'll try and get hold of a red letter second edition. Let's have a look at this. Now, just bear in mind that this isn't a King James version, but obviously the second edition is very... it's basically the same Bible. So just imagine that this is KJV. Let's go to those early chapters of Matthew again. So there's an example of the second edition red letter, and here's an example of the first edition red letter. You can hopefully see what I mean there. It's just the difference between the red and black. In fact, that's not a very good page, is it? The difference between the red and black is just far more obvious, isn't it? You can also probably tell that the font is that little bit more legible in this first edition. So if you do get hold of a first edition Pitt Minion, this is what you can expect. It's just a fantastic, beautiful Bible. Obviously, it was of its time, so it was the letterpress plates. So this is limited to the King James Version, the first edition. And I can see why Cambridge would move to a digital typeface. You know, they've been able to put so many different translations into the Pitt Minion format. NASB, NIV, NLT, ESV, KJV, NKJV. So who knows what the future will bring, because it's so much easier to put a different translation into a digital typeface into this format. So so that's a little bit of a comparison with the second edition. But this is just wonderful. I really enjoy reading this Bible. I don't even need readers to read it, even with this smaller font size, because it is effectively a hand-sized Bible, but it is nice and slim as well. Here's a comparison of the thickness, so you can see it is actually about 1/4 of an inch more narrow, less wide than the more modern second editions. So that's something to bear in mind. You're going to be getting a slim Bible, but you're going to be getting a top quality Bible with just fantastic printing and paper. This is from an era when Cambridge were at the height, if you like, of their UK production, and you can really tell in these production values that they put into their Bibles. Obviously, the publishing team now are using resources from across the globe in many ways, heavily leaning on perhaps the Netherlands Royal Youngblood and their presses and binderies there. But here is an example of what Cambridge were doing so well back in the day. A beautiful edition. So if you're interested in this Bible, then just keep an eye open on eBay, on my page there. I think you can get links all across the internet, our Facebook page, Instagram. There'll be links in this video as well, I'm sure. But this will be going live within the next day or two. So I'll put it up there. It will be going on as an auction, just so there's 7 days or maybe even 10 days for people to take a look at it and have a chance on purchasing it. So keep your eyes posted on there. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed already. There is a live giveaway at the moment as well. Drop me an email at mark@burtonbibles.com for more information on that giveaway. We're giving away plenty of Bibles this month. And also do sign up to the newsletter as well, when I'll be dropping occasional emails about stock updates. So take care, guys. God bless, and we will catch up on another video soon. Bye-bye.